Here are my top 10 training do's and don'ts. When training any new behaviors with your dog, don't hold the bag in your hand while you're training them. Do use a treat pouch, container with the treats in it that you put nearby. Have them in your hand, but just put them behind your back. Or you can totally keep the treats in the original bag. Just set the bag aside and keep it nearby. Unless you're using a food lure to get a behavior from your dog in the very beginning stages, don't grab for food before you ask them to do a behavior. Do ask first, and when they do it, use a clicker, a reward marker like yes, or just some encouraging praise, and then immediately followed by the reward. Go to your place. Yes. Good job. Good. Very nice. Don't repeat verbal cues. You don't want to sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. Do try to set your dog up for success. Get their attention first. Ask them one time and give them a few moments to figure it out. Hopefully when they do, you can then mark and reward. Jake, bed? Yes. Good girl, honey. Don't yell at your dog. Not only will this make them a little nervous about what you're up to, it really doesn't help them understand what we'd prefer them to be doing. Do use an encouraging tone of voice when talking to your dog, and especially when training your dog. And if your dog is really getting into some trouble, use proper management to prevent unwanted behaviors from occurring. You ready, bud? Yeah, all right. Touch. Yes, good boy. Nice job. Okay. Good boy. Don't physically manipulate your dog in any way. If we're trying to teach them to sit, for instance, you don't need to push their butt down. And if you're trying to get them off the couch or something, for example, we really don't need to push or shove or grab their collars and drag them off. Do motivate them and encourage them to move on their own. Use a toy or some high-value treats. But this lets them learn how to move on their own, which is very important for later on. And you don't have to resort to physically trying to move them around, which could lead to some problems. Ready, you want this? Good boy. Thank you. Thank you. Don't use low-value treats, especially if your dog gets them all of the time. If you're trying to get your dog to come when called when outside or something major like that, we need to pay appropriately. So don't use something low value. Do use high value rewards, of course. So using something like this, the stinkier the better. And especially if it smells like you just cooked it in the kitchen, you're in good shape. Don't forget to meet your dog's needs. Do make sure they're getting physical exercise, mental stimulation, and some bonding and training time with you each day. Good job. Here. Here's your puzzle toy, babe. Good girl. Touch. Yes. Good. Spin. Yes. Good. Don't just take things away from your dog. This could lead to them running away and avoiding you, or worse, resource guarding. Do instead trade them with a tasty treat. This will help pair your rival when they have something they find valuable as a positive. It also helps teach drop it, and at the very least, you don't have a conflict or something worse going on. Oh, thank you. Do use things like gates, crates, playpens, and leashes to help stop the rehearsal of unwanted behavior in the first place. This is key to good dog training. Don't miss out on rewarding all the good behavior that your dog is doing at some point in the day. Do use high value treats to reward good behavior. Remember, whatever gets rewarded gets repeated. So instead of focusing on behaviors we don't like, flip your mind and try to catch your dog doing something good and reward them for it.